Petersburg, Russia, coming in at 13-2 against Bridgett Riley in the red trunks, entering the bout at 12-2. I'm Lon McCarron, along with Mike Sawyer. The fighters getting final instructions from our referee tonight as we begin this full contact bout.
These are the two best featherweights in the world, Lon, fighting for this vacant title. Larianova undefeated since 1992. Riley, 2 losses earlier in her career. This is as good as it gets for featherweights. It's going to be a great bout.
Larianova in the white t-shirt and Bridgett Riley in the red shorts. Scheduled for 9 rounds, 2-minute rounds tonight. And immediately these fighters go at each other like they know each other very well.
Sometimes fighters at this level just skip the feeling out period. They both know the level of their opponent. They figure they better get in early and establish themselves, and that's what they're doing.
Defense does not seem to be a key for either fighter at this point, Mike.
Well, there's some testing going on here as well. Each fighter wants to feel a little bit of what the other has. Not hit with a combination or too solid of a shot, but they like to know what they're up against. Larianova is known as a finisher. She keeps trying to maneuver Bridgett Riley against the ropes, unsuccessfully so far.
Each fighter just as strong in the punching and kicking ability. A tremendous amount of action in this first round. As interesting as who will win this fight will be to find out if both Larianova and Riley can survive the 9 rounds. Welcome back to Verdun Auditorium in Montreal, Canada, ready for the second round of this ISKA World Featherweight bout. These women pick up right where they left off, Mike.
Excellent left roundhouse kick to the head by Riley on Larianova. Riley's known for those roundhouse kicks. We're going to see more of them here in the second round, I think.
Great. Fight!
How much does knowing your opponent enter into how fast you're going to pick up the action in a fight?
Well, knowing the opponent gives you a better idea of the strategy to utilize. Bridgett Riley has been effectively using the left hook since the opening bell of round 1. She's going to continue to do that, but she's starting to follow it with left leg kicks, and that's a good strategy against Larianova. Larianova will tend to raise the right hand to block the hook after it's already there. The left roundhouse kick will go right under the elbow. Larianova has absorbed an incredible number of punches in just these first 2 rounds. Her defense needs to pick up dramatically, or she's going to lose this fight on points big or get knocked out if Riley begins to follow those punches and combinations.
Both fighters are landing both punches and kicks, and the punishment's got to take its toll sooner or later. Round 2 is done in Montreal. Mike, I'm really shocked that these women are going out so hard, so fast, when they know they've got 7 more rounds to look forward to.
Well, I don't think we have two better conditioned athletes in the sport, men or women. Larianova and Riley are both very experienced, and they know what they're up against. They could fight 9 rounds just like this.
With so much of an arsenal coming at each fighter, do they key on one aspect of their defense, or do they just have to go in there and say, I've got to block everything that's coming my way?
Well, they'll tend to let some shots get through in order to effectively block others. The problem so far for Larianova is she has no defense. You notice the head movement by Riley is excellent, but Larianova, it's almost by accident if she doesn't get hit in the head. She's got to utilize better defense, or this fight is going to be one-sided.
Both fighters coming in with similar records, as we told you. Larianova at 13-2 and Riley at 12-2, and a big spin kick right off the bell from Riley.
Kick shot, come on.
Now Larianova gets in a couple of punches, but I think she's still got to work on the kicks.
Larianova is very strong, and her strategy is to get inside and punch with Riley. We see Riley effectively utilizing those roundhouse kicks and front kicks now to keep her away, and an effective leg sweep earlier in this round. That's good strategy by Riley.
Come on, work your way out. Right!
We've seen Larianova come up from a 16-year-old amateur in her home city of Moscow to possibly the best featherweight in the world. We'll see from the outcome of this bout. And her only losses were in an earlier time, lower weight division to the excellent Ramona Gatto and Bonnie Canino. It's going to be a real test for Bridgett Riley tonight.
Riley is so quick.
Riley is renowned as having the fastest hands in the women's divisions. Maybe not the hardest hitting, but her speed is better than anyone else's. As this fight goes on, that speed will increase also. She seems to get stronger as the rounds move forward.
And of course, later rounds, fatigue could play a factor, so just a matter of landing a punch is going to help you out no matter how hard that punch can be.
Again, we see that left hook. Just excellent use by Riley of her reach and her ability to close the distance and land that left hook accurately and effectively.
Nearing the end of round 3. A tough one to score so far. They're both animated fighters, but I think Riley might be dropping 1 or 2 more punches than Larianova.
You notice the determined stare by Larianova in Riley's direction at the end of that round. We have a replay coming for you from round 3. That leg sweep was a little high. Had it been lower, would have been more effective. But notice how Riley, even though her strategy didn't work on the sweep, she still gets out of harm's way. Those are heavy punches by Larianova. Riley, very effective defense.
You see a determined Bridgett Riley. Not showing fatigue. Round 4 begins, scheduled for 9, ISKA World Featherweight Title.
As she has the last 3 rounds, Riley comes out with roundhouse kicks to start off.
Both fighters taking a beating.
Furious flurries in the corner by both fighters. Larianova got the best of that exchange. Riley resting a bit here in the early part of round 4. She's had almost constant movement the first 3 rounds. Impressive conditioning.
You see Larianova more the plodding, moving forward types. Riley bobbing and weaving in the classic form of great boxers.
Too much emphasis by Larianova on setting up the right hand. She seems to have one game plan, that's straight ahead, jab, jab, right cross. Against someone of Bridgett Riley's caliber, that's not going to be effective. She needs to begin to move more.
Again, the inside action, and Larianova seems to be getting the better of it.
Tremendous power in those punches by Larianova. Hip rotation is full. Every punch hitting on Riley's head is having an effect. We can see it in Riley's face. She's got to get out of that corner, or Larianova can take her out right here.
Riley in trouble. And she gets out of it. We're through 4 rounds on ISKA Strikeforce Kickboxing. Live in this ISKA World Featherweight bout from Montreal, Canada.
Bridgett Riley saved by the bell in every sense of the word at the end of round 4. This round, she's got to stay off the ropes. She's got to move. Larianova looked at the end of that last round like she could punch all day if she had to.
And for Larianova, that round bell could not have come at a worse time. Can that carry through a round, through the break, into the next round?
The effect of it can, yes. And Bridgett Riley, you have 1 minute in between these rounds. I don't think that's enough for Bridgett Riley after that onslaught at the end of round 4. You see an effect on Riley from that last round. The punches don't have the snap. She's not moving. She needs to recharge.
Riley looked to be using round 4 to recharge, Mike, but here in round 5, she does not look like she got the recovery time she needed.
Larianova's killer instinct is getting in the way of that. She knows Riley's down a little. She's putting on the pressure, and her conditioning is just tremendous. If she can keep this up the whole 9 rounds, Riley's going to have a lot of trouble. This is where Riley needs to move to her left and get out of that corner. She's not doing it.
She really finds herself in big trouble when she gets stuck in those corners.
Well, that left hook right there shows she still has the physical prowess. I think it's the mental acuity that she's lacking, Lon. I think those blows earlier in the fight are taking their toll.
It also shows that those punches don't have a lot of snap on them. They hardly phase Natlalia Larianova. And once again, Bridgett Riley goes back to her corner feeling like she might have lost that round.
We've seen this fight turn around. The first 2 rounds were Riley's. The last 3 rounds have been Larianova's. Straight ahead, left, right, take a few and go right back to straight ahead. That's Larianova's strategy. So far working well. She's absorbing punishment but giving more than she's taken.
Right now, I think the corner can really help Riley here by telling her that those punches may not be having the effect they want. And she can't stand there and trade punches. Natlalia Larianova, she's going to have to score and score and score and not go for the knockout. Scheduled for 9. This is round 6 on ESPN2 Strikeforce.
Each round, Riley has come out with effective kicks. She's been abandoning those kicks 30 seconds into each round. If she keeps them up, she'll keep Larianova away, and she'll be able to formulate her own strategy through that round. Otherwise, she's just fighting Larianova's fight, Lon.
Riley seems to have gone back to dancing around. That is a key if she's going to win.
You see how flat-footed Larianova is. She's setting up for some heavy artillery, just moving forward, not really trying to cut the ring off. If Riley moves laterally, particularly to her own left, so her left hook is set up, good strategy for her.
coming back.
We're seeing those flurries of punches we saw in the first 2 rounds.
A good finish to round 6 for Bridgett Riley. And she has to be encouraged as she goes back to her corner.
Much better movement here by Riley. She gets her punches in, then she moves out of range, up on the balls of her feet, light on her feet. That's what she does best.
Now, as we enter round 7, you've got to be curious. Larianova has had to gain weight for this fight. She's normally a bantamweight. Can that tell on a fighter where she's having to carry that extra weight into the later rounds?
I don't think it will in Larianova, Lon. Larianova is tall. She's just maturing into those years where she's at her physical peak. I think she can carry the weight just fine. I think, in fact, it'll add to the amount of power in her punches and kicks.
And that is not good news for St. Louis's Bridgett Riley.
Very fast hands by Bridgett Riley. Throughout this fight, we've seen that. She just needs more of it. Her trainer, Lily Rodriguez, possibly the greatest female kickboxer of all time, has worked heavily with her on the last few months on those hand combinations, and it's showing. Excellent timing on the left hook.
Riley finds herself in the corner again. We'll see if Larianova can take advantage. Good left.
Excellent combination and movement by Riley. That's what she needs to do. Before Larianova gets off first, she needs to move in, use her combinations, circle out.
Larianova is the one taking the punishment now.
Very nicely done 3-punch combination by Riley. She seems to be getting her feet and her head back in the right place.
Round 7 is just about in the books. Back with more on ESPN2.
ISKA Kickboxing.
Mike Sawyer from the Verdun Auditorium. We're ready for round number 8 in this ISKA World Featherweight fight. Bridgett Riley has her work cut out for her. She's in the red trunks.
Riley must be behind at this point, Lon. She's just taking too much punishment in the middle rounds. I'm sure Lily Rodriguez told Bridgett Riley between rounds that 8 and 9 have to be hers. I think we'll see her keep the pace up for these last 4 minutes, almost nonstop.
She's got to move. She's got to move and stay out of the corners.
She's moving well now, but she needs to throw more stuff. She needs her gloves and feet to be bouncing off Larianova at a steady rhythm, and we're not seeing that. Good right-hand counter by Larianova.
Both fighters taking it on the chin.
Hold the head.
It was a trade, but not an equal one. We see more effect on Riley than Larianova. More kicks are warranted here by Riley. That's been one of her most effective weapons against Larianova, particularly head kicks. Larianova does not react well. She drops her hands too early. Riley should spend these last 2 rounds just peppering her with head kicks.
We have 1 round to go, and Mike, it seems as though Bridgett Riley is getting good information in her corner. She just cannot execute, and even when she does, it does not have the effect that she wants on Larianova.
It's very difficult against a fighter like Larianova. She is so tough. She just stands her ground. She's not intimidated by anything. She absorbs that left hook, only a moment's hesitation, and she's right back in on Bridgett Riley. I think at that point, Riley is feeling, what do I have to do to back this woman off?
And Larianova, meanwhile, as she sits in her corner waiting for the final round, just wonders what she has to do to stay away from a knockout punch, because she has to feel she's got the fight in her pocket.
Certainly Riley is going to come out swinging leather this round. I noticed Larianova is beginning to breathe heavy in the corner. It's about time since it's the last round. I think the conditioning of these 2 athletes has been superior, very impressive here.
It's just been amazing. I've been very impressed. You're right, Mike.
Bad sign if Riley is holding in the last round. She needs to be throwing everything she has. Constant punches, kicks.
Quickness comes through there and scores a point.
Good right-hand counter, but she needs punches and bunches here, and she needs a lot of kicks coming through. Again, Riley letting Larianova control the pace. And there is no more time. Riley needs to take the lead here now.
Larianova is just not creating an opening for Bridgett Riley to get through the defense.
Riley's dancing, but Larianova is leading. And that's bad this late in the fight. Good combination there by Riley, but she needs to go right now back in with it.
It's all or nothing now for Bridgett Riley.
She just doesn't have enough left, Lon. Riley has thrown everything she's had, and it's just not been enough.
And 9 rounds of action for both Bridgett Riley and Natlalia Larianova. Larianova has to feel confident. Riley, though, does likewise.
Be interesting to see how the judges score this fight, Lon. Larianova, certainly with the heavier shots. Riley probably landed more punches, more kicks, but just not the visible impact on Larianova. And that's what the judges score is impact. And Larianova hits, as she did there with the right hand, you see a visible effect. Riley covers up, she moves. That punch landed by Riley, the right hook, but you see Larianova just continuing to move forward.
Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, voici maintenant la décision, and now here is the decision. Le juge Bidégaré, Judge Bidégaré, 85, 86, 85, 86. Le juge Bridgett, Judge Bridgett, 85, 86, 85, 86. Et le juge Nadeau, and Judge Nadeau, 84, 86, 84, 86. La gagnante par décision unanime et nouvelle champion des poids mouches de la ISKA, the winner by unanimous decision and new ISKA Featherweight World Champion, Bridgett Riley.
Bridgett Riley surprise decision from the Canadian judges.
I'd have gone the other way, Lon. I'd have given it to Larianova as landing the harder shots. In this case, I think the judges went with quantity. And true, Riley landed more kicks and punches, but I think that Larianova's did the great.